coming up, and Zamina Williams, all lovely ladies that will share their message on Born Identity and Blueprint. So the first person that I'm going to introduce is Janelle Boyd. Woo! Yes, we need you to get up. Hey, Janelle, take my mic.
Get on up. Has he blessed you? Has he blessed you? Huh? Bless me. Come on. Come on. Is it Sunday? Are we here today? Are you in the room? Are you breathing? Did he bless you? Yes. Come on. Hey. Just everyone around me.
Thank you, thank you. Energy. Thank you. She definitely lifted the room. So the next person that I'm having coming up is Frances Hall from I'm So DC. Woo! So we're going to give her a moment right here, okay? Way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Yes. So the third person that I'm gonna have come up is who you spoke with and got to experience, Zamina Williams. Woo! Yes. So I am so excited to have you ladies. Thank you for dedicating this wonderful Sunday on being able to share your knowledge about the Blueprint, your knowledge about your identity and the power in which you're doing in your business, and as well as for all of these ladies in the room. Ladies, can we get one last hand clap for our panel? So I definitely wanted to pass the mic over and let each person talk about what they share, their business, and just their insight moving forward. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies. So I'm Janelle Boyd. I am the founder and CEO of the Eventful Life Enterprises. We are an event production, curated event production company, as well as we do marketing. And we actually empower women through our experiences with wine, women, and wisdom. I also have a lifestyle brand, which is about basically interspersing both personal life coaching as well as business coaching. And I call it thought work because everything that we do outside starts inside. And that is the key, that is the catalyst to us being the highest version of what we are called to be, is when we get that inner work done. Hey guys, happy Sunday. I'm so excited to be here. Let me tell you how nervous I was on the way here. Okay, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be sitting on a stage, So my name is Frances Hall. I am the co-owner of a DC clothing brand called I'm So DC. Thank you ladies, it is so good to see so many familiar faces and vendors. I've worked with so many of you all. I just feel so warm and welcome here. We've been in existence since 2016. We were doing pop-ups all over the city. I was literally delivering to a lot of you guys in my car, meeting in metro stations, meeting at your jobs, just all over the city. So during COVID,
About 2 years, we occupied a space in Hyattsville. We shared a boutique, and then COVID came, and it was like, oh my God, what's happening? Everybody, we shared a space, and we didn't have our own key. We had to basically operate on somebody else's time, right? And so, because I became more comfortable, it didn't mean that the owner of the boutique became more comfortable. So I'm like, this can't be. So October 2020, we moved into our own space. We got our own keys, right? And that was so huge. That was so huge because you want to operate the way you want to on your own time. You want to open up when you want to, however many days you want to. And so that was major for us. So that was 2020. And since then, it has not stopped. It really has not stopped. And we just feel so much love from our community. And that's from all over. Like, I ship all over. Like, last week, I shipped a hat to Hawaii. Like, DC people are all over. And I do believe that even if you're not a DC native, like, people aren't from France or Italy, but you're buying those designers. If you like it, then buy it, right? So, as far as finding my identity, I learn something new about myself every day, right? So, again, I'm the co-owner, so my partner kind of ran with the I'm so DC thing. Years ago, it was like, I'm so DC, I used to do this, or I'm so DC, I used to do that. And so he is such a visionary. He made it a clothing brand, right? But it was just missing something, which was me. Which was me, okay? It needed a face, it needed some energy, it needed a woman, right? Like, brands need women, period. That's right. So that's what I brought to it. And I encourage you guys to please follow us. Sometimes I forget. Follow us on Instagram at I'm So DC Online, and I just have fun. Right? And that's how I find my identity in this. I just have fun, right? People want to see a real person showing off their clothes or their experience. And that's really how I find my identity. Like, I work with so many entrepreneurs. I just get so excited. And I know that the one thing that I always hear entrepreneurs struggle with, which is something that I had to push through, was marketing. You got to get up and you got to post. It is a gazillion people on social media. If you don't get up in the morning and do it, your business will go down. I mean, it won't go down, but the visibility on social media, you got to get up and you got to do it, even if you don't want to. It's the first thing I do before I get out the bed. Seriously, like, I sit there and I try to, just brainstorm about what I can say. And I've also created this thing. And if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see people come to my store because they want to be a part of it. They want to take pictures. People will leave out, and if we don't get their picture, they'll come back in. They'll say, I didn't get my picture. Or they'll DM me and say, you didn't post my picture yet, sis. So, it's a wonderful thing. It really is, and I'm so proud to be a part of something, a part of a community. We do a lot of stuff in the community with public schools and CSOSA and all of that, but I just love being a part of something, and I love that other people want to be a part of it as well. So if it's one thing that I could tell you about being an entrepreneur or share, it's just about being flexible, right? Allow yourself room for error, because every day you'll learn something new. And so that's just really what it is, and I encourage you, if you want to start something, start it. Don't wait. It's no perfect time. It's no perfect day. It's no perfect way to do it. You just got to do it. And then leave the rest behind. Do it, post it, and keep it on moving. Don't keep doing it 25 times like me. I still struggle with that. But I post it, and then I keep going, and I go on to something else. So please be flexible. Allow yourself room for error, because it will work out. And thank you for having us.
Hi, Hi, I'm Zamina Williams, and I'm the president and CEO of Onyx Consulting Services. Onyx is a best-of-breed IT solution provider for the federal government. We've serviced the intel community, we've serviced the civil sector, so from DITRA, DEA, NSA, Joint Force Headquarters, FDA, and we've partnered with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. Leidos, Google, Lockheed Martin, you name it, we've probably done some form of business with them. I kind of wanted to focus on, like, for people who are really thinking about entrepreneurship and just haven't taken the leap or they have some reservations, I just wanted to give you all a couple of things to ponder and just notes and reflections that I had. And so when you break down the word entrepreneur, entre is Latin for swim out. Prende is Latin for understand, grasp, and capture. So an entrepreneur is someone that swims out, leaves their comfort zone, and seeks to become masters of their trade. So when you consider it, there's significant risk involved. You may or may not succeed your first time, but don't be discouraged if it doesn't. You know, when you see successful entrepreneurs, some people say, well, if I try it and I fail, entrepreneurship wasn't for me. No, you just have to try it again. It doesn't always work the first time. I would also say for me, it was a spiritual journey, so I would be remiss in talking to you about anything without referencing God and just my prayer life and how it kind of propelled me to do some of the things I was able to do. It was challenging, but it was never so challenging that I didn't think I could do it because I got my confirmation. So when you know what you want to do and you receive your spiritual confirmation, like I said, it's a process you go through, I think, before you step out there. And, you know, I think you also mentioned that, you know, before you launch, you just want to hear from God and know that this is the right thing for you. You will have naysayers, and naysayers are not always haters. Sometimes naysayers are family members that care, that are just extremely practical, that don't want to see you fall. They want to make sure you can pay your bills. So, you know, and some people are stuck in mediocrity, or some people are complacent. So if someone discourages you from your vision of entrepreneurship, don't always take it as they're hating on me. No, they're just practical, and they may not be your audience. Trust that God will make provisions for you. So I think in the life of every entrepreneur, I'm sure, if we talk long enough, we could hear that there were things that didn't work out, or checks that weren't cashed, or opportunities that didn't happen. And when you're called to do something, you don't necessarily worry about those things because you know God is going to make provisions for you. Philippians 4:19 says, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ. And so that is a scripture that I always abide by when I have that worry. So other points, remember your why. If you're going into entrepreneurship, know why you're doing it. And it shouldn't just be, oh, I want to make money, because I'm telling you, there'll be days where you're like, it ain't enough money. Like, you know, I am doing this because I really have a passion for fashion. I really have a passion for employing people. I really have it, and write down that why. Know why you're doing it. Establish a creed or a code. And this is important because I think when money gets involved, people can change. Know that you have a financial creed, you have an operational creed. So you may say, my taxes are going to be paid quarterly on this date, or I'm only going to do this type of business, and don't compromise it. Stick to your creed. Assume authority. Power is assumed, not granted. So you have to believe, obviously, that you can do it. Seek opportunities to collaborate and synergize. So always, as business owners, sometimes we always think competitively, like specifically with companies that are in our industry. And if you really want to grow, sometimes you have to bundle and, you know, really seek to collaborate. You'll grow faster. Guard your energy from those things that don't support your mission. Establish boundaries. I heard the woman that talked about self-care. So important. Probably one of the best things you could do when you're starting off. Self-care and rest, obviously. You know, you can't operate optimally if you're not healthy. Learn to embrace the difficult things. So some days as an entrepreneur, it'll be monotonous. It's not always new. Like, I know, like, maybe in fashion, there may be things, she's a creative, and so that's gonna be fun for her, but there's still some aspects, I'm sure, of your job that are like, I'm doing this again and again and again. And you may not feel like it, but if you know, that's a part of the sacrifice of entrepreneurship, doing the things, you know, that you don't feel like doing. Gratitude. Always have an attitude of gratitude. Everything that God does for you and every provision made for you, and even those things that don't work out. Sometimes you got to be grateful for those too. Always have gratitude. Be a servant. I don't embrace being a boss lady. My employees call me boss lady. I don't consider myself a boss lady. I'm a servant leader. I serve my employees and my customers, and I know my role. Feel a sense of destiny and purpose. I liken this to the story in Matthew 8:24, when a furious storm swept the boat of Jesus and his disciples, and Jesus slept. And the disciples were panicked, and he was not, because he had a sense of destiny. He knew what his higher calling was, and so it was. As an entrepreneur, your success begins and ends with you. You will have to rely on a trusted team and empower them to help you, but your efforts and your success or failure rests with you. No matter what the challenge you may face, trust God and put him first. Romans 8:28 states, and we know that for all things work together for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. Seek God, pray over your calling, and he will bless your path.
Okay, so I thought we were just introducing ourselves, or else I would have shared, obviously. So let me, I really want to speak to, I left off by saying that, a lot of my work that I do with women is about thought work, the combination of personal life coaching and then also business coaching. The reason why I call it thought work, though, is, and I really want to speak to the women who are in a season of growth and in a season of change. And I don't say entrepreneurs because what we have to understand is that we're so much more than just what we do. One of the things that I talk to my coaching clients about is, who are you? And I ask the question, I say, who you be, right? Who you be? Because one of the things we all recognize, or should recognize by now, is that when the pandemic shut us down, we went from doing to not doing. We went from doing all the things that we always have to get up and do, or that we get to get up and do every single day, whether it's putting on the mom hat, putting on the business owner hat, putting on the caregiver hat, putting on the community leader hat, all the hats that we wear, ladies, we went from putting those hats on to being still. And in that moment, the most important question was, who are you? And for so many of us, including myself, I found myself on a journey of trying to understand, after many transitions in life, after much growth in life, after much being who I needed to be for everybody else, I found myself on a mission to understand, what do I want? How many of you have been there? Or are there? We can be real. Look, keep it real. Hey, okay. It's okay. It's okay, because that's called an awakening. That's called self-awareness. That's called wanting to get to know yourself again. And because you have changed and you have grown, you need to get reacquainted with yourself again. And again, because this won't be the last time. As long as I have breath in my body, I know that I'm called to do something each and every morning that I wake up, and so are you. The question is, do you allow yourself the freedom to explore outside the boundary of the boxes that we have created for ourselves? Do you hear me? Okay, I know y'all eating, okay, but we eating both ways. We eating, okay, spiritually, mindfully, thoughtfully, we eating, okay, because I really want to drive that home, and that's what I mean by the inner work. The inner work. You are designed to be all that you can be. So when we put ourselves in these boxes, we are doing ourselves, not only ourselves a disservice, but we are doing ourselves a disservice to the people that we are called to serve. And those people are waiting for you in each of the realms in which you are called to serve. You don't have just one gift. How many of you been struggling with, well, I thought I'm supposed to do this, but yet I feel like I'm also purposed to do that, but yet I also know that I'm very talented in this area. I also see that I can do this very easily. And in some cases, we think, well, then there must be something wrong because I feel like I'm all over the place. No, you are not. You are called to do every single thing that you are good at. Let me say that again. You are called to do every single thing that you are good at. When it flows, it's him. When it's forced, it's you. When it flows, it's him. When it's forced, it's you. Okay? So know that each and every morning when you get up, stop putting yourself in a box. Stop thinking that you have to stay in one lane. Stop listening to the, she said it, naysayers. Stop listening to these naysayers who are telling you, well, that's just crazy. Why you want to do that today? Well, you need to make up your mind. Yesterday you said you wanted to. Yes, thank you, and I appreciate you, but you can go stand over there while I do everything that he said I'm supposed to do, because if it's in alignment with what he said, then guess who I'm listening to? Him. We have to wake up and start seeing ourselves the way that he sees us and not the way that everybody else has programmed and designed us to see ourselves. Let this be the day you say, I see myself the way that he sees me. And that is all that I need. Yes? Yes. Okay, I like that. Y'all said that very strong. That's right. That's right. Okay? So three things, and then I'm gonna hand the mic back over. Three things. Number one, when you get up in the morning, I need you to affirm yourself first. Before you flip open that phone, before you get online, because what we don't understand is that we are a product of what we feed our mind. Whatever we feed ourselves, then that is what is coming out. So you affirm yourself first. You don't need anybody else to do that. You affirm yourself and let everything else after that just be confirmation of what you've already affirmed. Number two, make sure that you take time for you. Somewhere in your day, I made the mistake a long time ago. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and I used to get up and do everything for everybody, because as soon as my feet hit the floor, my feet belonged to somebody else. My kids, my husband, my business. I thought I was becoming an entrepreneur to get free. I became an entrepreneur and all of a sudden found out that I had shackles on my feet. Y'all know the song, take the shackles off my feet so I can dance, okay? And what I realized is that all of a sudden I was not included in the picture that I had painted. So I needed to take a step back and make sure that I was in that picture. How you paint a picture and you're not even in it? Right? So you have to be in that picture, which means, going back to what the young lady said earlier, you have to be selfish. You have to understand that being full of self is okay. Being full of self means that you now get to pour out onto others. Your overflow lies in your abundance. So you have to do that. Nobody is going to do that for you. Let me be very clear. Nobody is going to do that for you. You have to be bold enough, brave enough, and big enough to say, this is my time. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love myself and you at the same time. I'm gonna say that again. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love myself and you at the same time. Notice the order. Myself and you. It's not the other way around. Put your mask on first. Last thing, always, in everything, have gratitude for where you are, where you have been, and where you are going. Don't you ever apologize for where you have been or where you are. Don't you ever regret where you have been or where you are or where you are going. Don't you ever let anyone make you feel bad for where you have been. I don't care how many mistakes you made. Everything that you did, everything that you are doing is creating who you are being.
I don't know how many women in the room did feel that. Did we feel that? I just want to say thank you, Janelle, Francis, and Zamina. I wanted to say while each of you guys were speaking, I felt these 3 P's: power, presence, and pressure. All 3 of you guys represent all of that. And I do want to include Adrian in that as well, since we started out the show. But those 3 P's is something that I want you guys to leave with: power, your presence, and your pressure. And us as women have to realize how we need to size up in the room, at the table. That's why we're here. So thank you, ladies. And let's give them their last hand clap. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much.